and just let yourself go. Now, if you're lying in bed with the lights off, just let yourself completely relax, totally relax. Just let yourself completely sink into the bed. Just let all those negative thoughts drain from your body and from your mind, and just totally let yourself go. Just immerse yourself in relaxation and sleep. Think only about good things, happy things, things that put your mind at ease and make you smile. Don't focus on the negative energy or the negative events of the day. They're not worth it. It's just a waste of time and a waste of energy. Now, if you're not in bed, or maybe you're lying on the couch or in your recliner, just relax, lie back. Hopefully you have some earbuds or some big headphones or something. You know, ASMR is so relaxing for me personally. Even if I can only spend 10 minutes a day, those 10 minutes will rejuvenate me completely and make me feel so much better and so much more relaxed and so much more energized when I get up. You know, relaxing isn't always about falling asleep. It's not always about, rapid eye movement or a dream state. It's just about letting yourself go and just completely relaxing and focusing on positive things and letting go of the negative things. Now, I don't always find it that easy to relax, because sometimes I'm very wound up for all kinds of reasons, but I find ASMR really, really helps. So if you listen to my voice, and those mouth sounds, and hopefully it'll help you just relax and maybe fall asleep, but mainly it'll help you unwind. Just let yourself go and just immerse yourself in the state of relaxation. Now I want to talk to you about something that I find kind of difficult sometimes, and that's jet lag. I don't cope well with traveling when it comes to jet lag and that sort of thing. I'm very much a creature of habit, and for me to have my sleep pattern interrupted is really quite difficult. So the first time I experienced jet lag was many years ago, I think back in 2008, on my first trip to Europe. I think I flew from Vancouver to Chicago, Chicago to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Athens, and I caught a cruise ship, and for about the first 3 or 4 days, I was falling asleep at the dinner table. Now, on the way back, it was pretty much the same thing. When I got back home, about 2 weeks later, I was again falling asleep at the dinner table, and I knew I had to get turned around because I couldn't function properly. I couldn't sit up without nodding off. So one night after dinner at about 6 or 6:30, I went to sleep. I went to sleep for about 12 hours. And disrupts my sleep pattern and makes it very difficult to cope. Now, I find one of the best things to do when I want to go to sleep is get into a very comfortable position. I like my window open, I like fresh air, I like the sound of rain, I like the sound of the fish pond outside my window. I love the cool breeze, the cool fresh air. I like just the right amount of blankets on my bed. I don't want to be pushing off too many if it's too hot, and I certainly don't want to be cold. But I just love to relax into a nice bed with the covers pulled up, and I just put my arms at my side, and I think about all the good things of the day, or about all the people who bring me joy. I really try to let go of the negativity, the things that just don't matter. And there's so many things that just are not important or conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Now, ASMR for me is not always about sound. Sometimes it's about, sensory touch. An example is several weeks ago, one of Linda's granddaughters, she always likes to role play and pretend she's 6, and I was watching TV and she wanted to know if she could style my hair. Now, I don't have very much hair, but she had this little spray bottle and she wanted to do my hair for me. So I reluctantly agreed, and she had these sort of toy little scissors, and I said, you can pretend, but please don't actually cut my hair. And she agreed not to. So she stood on the couch and she started, spraying my hair and combing it. And I have to admit it felt really, really relaxing. And of course she's playing the whole role, like, saying how was your day and this kind of thing. And then I had to pretend to pay her after and this kind of stuff. And it kind of reminded me of when Linda cuts my hair. Linda is slower than most people because she's not a hairstylist, so it takes her a bit longer. But I find it very relaxing when somebody is, brushing my hair or cutting my hair or something like that. I've always enjoyed going to, a salon or a barber to get my hair cut. But unfortunately, sometimes they talk and talk and talk, and it can be kind of noisy and hard to relax. But when Linda cuts my hair, she doesn't say much. She just, cuts and cuts away and just sort of takes her time, and, it's just kind of does her own thing, But I love the sound of the scissors, the scissors cutting my hair, and now that snip, snip. Just snip, snip, snip. And it always feels so nice too. I just love getting my hair cut. And my hair does grow quite quickly, which is kind of nice because I get it cut every couple of months. Another thing I enjoy is sometimes Linda will give me a manicure because she doesn't like my nails being very long. And a lot of my viewers mention that too, that my fingernails are quite long sometimes. And so she'll cut my nails for me and file them. And there's something about all that sensory touch, that feels so nice, And to me, that's really good ASMR. It's so relaxing. It's not always about the sound, it's just about different things. And even just watching nice and relaxing. I got some coins here, some nickels. I'm just kind of playing with. I noticed that this cover that I got on my table gets very dusty and dirty sometimes. I wash it periodically. But when I do eating videos, I get crumbs and stuff all over it. So of course I have to brush it off and wash it off and that sort of thing. So I want you to just focus on relaxing. You know what I really like is certain mouth sounds, but not overly exaggerated mouth sounds. I just like, those sort of melodic sounds like stuff like that, I know you've all been in a situation where you've been in school and you could hear somebody whisper, and it's just so relaxing. If you think about when you were a kid in school, you'd be sitting at your desk during reading time or quiet time and you'd hear somebody whispering or something like that. It was always kind of relaxing, very relaxing. You could hear them quietly whispering, very, very quietly, quietly whispering. Now recently, when Linda and I went on vacation, quite often we would ride in these 15-passenger vans. We were about a group of 10, plus the driver and the guide. And there was a couple that sat behind us. They always sat behind us. They were a lovely couple from Australia. And the lady would always keep a journal, and she was always writing in it. And she was writing in her journal every day, keeping track of where they've been, where they're going, what they did, what they ate, the restaurants that they ate at, what they had to eat for breakfast and lunch and dinner. And she would always write in her journal. Sometimes I would see her at a table in the restaurant writing in it, but a lot of times she wrote in her journal on the bus. And there were so many times we'd be on the bus, we'd all be quite tired. And I remember this one time, the guide was talking through a microphone and talking about this and that. Then finally she said, okay, so we have another 2 hours, so everybody just relax. I'm finished talking, so just go ahead and get some rest. And we were all really, really tired, very tired. And I remember I was sitting in my seat, and it was really quiet. Everyone just kind of nodding off. amazing how many places you can find ASMR throughout your day. And I'm not talking about going on the computer. I mean, just, sometimes, like the other day, I had to take my mom to see her lawyer. And the secretary, in one of the other rooms, I could hear her just tapping away on her computer and, talking to somebody else softly, and it was very relaxing listening to that, So things like that. Now I have a dentist appointment coming up very soon, in about a week, less than a week. And I'll tell you, my friends, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I know the dentist is not everybody's favorite, but I find the dentist to be really, really relaxing. Really, really relaxing. I just love it when I'm lying there in that comfortable chair. And the hygienist just kind of, scraping my teeth and talking softly. And I like one that doesn't talk too much, but when they do, it's just a nice soft whisper because they're sitting close and they don't want to yell in your ear. And I just find the whole thing extremely relaxing. Not everybody does, but I do. So I'm really looking forward to that. I remember one time, about a year and a half ago, and this is no joke, I was having a root canal, and I had a few visits, 2 or 3 visits, and I remember almost falling asleep during one of the visits because it was so relaxing. I just loved it. I just wanted to go to sleep. It was just really, really nice. Just that, working on my teeth, I just, I hear the dentist talking to his assistant sometimes in a very quiet voice, almost a whisper, but not quite, just so nice and calm, very relaxing, very calming. Now, of course, I listen to ASMR, not a lot, but I do on the computer. I have different artists that I listen to, and I have some favorites. Nothing gives me more joy than when someone says they're thinking on starting an ASMR channel, and they actually do, because I throw my total support behind them. I think that's wonderful. There is a bit of a saturation of ASMR, but then again, there's more variety. I think some of my favorite ASMR is just simple, straightforward ASMR, not exaggerated sounds, but just more natural sounds. That's what I really, really like, that sort of thing. And I remember one time I used to listen to this young lady. I've mentioned her before, but this was years ago. And she hasn't been on YouTube ever since, unless she's under a different name, but she would just use her phone and sit in her bedroom, and she would just talk about her day, eat a sub sandwich from Subway, and she was so good to listen to. Very real, very genuine, it was just so natural. And there's a few like that I've been listening to for years, the same videos over and over and over, because they're so relaxing and so genuine. They're not forced, There's one lady who sitting there watching the news, I'll turn it down, and so I can still hear it, but it's not too loud, not just by myself dozing off, And it's just so wonderful, just to kind of nod off. I can't stress how important, how important, how important it is. I can't stress how important it is to relax a few minutes a day. You don't have to go to sleep for hours. You can just sit back and relax, even if you're at work in a certain situation, I remember when I used to work on my breaks, especially my half-hour break, I would always just relax. I would watch the TV, and I would sit in this nice, comfortable chair, close my eyes, and I would just listen to the news nice and soft, or people in the next room. We basically had a rule that in this particular room, nobody raised their voice or that sort of thing, and that was nice. That really helped people relax. It was a nice, quiet room, and it was a nice place to go and a nice place to be. And so a lot of times, even if I just get, like I said, 10 minutes or so of just sitting in my chair and just letting myself go, just relaxing, it is so nice. I'm one of these people, the minute I get into a car and go for a ride, it starts to make me tired. Last night, Linda and I went to her granddaughter's school. They had an open house because it's like the first couple of weeks of school. And I remember driving there. I was starting to yawn a little bit. And Linda said, "Are you tired?" And I said, "No, just being a passenger makes me sleepy." Once I got there, I was fine. But when I got in the car on the way back, it was the same thing. And it was really raining a lot. And she wanted to go kind of take the long way home. Because she wanted to drive by, she's very much into gardening, and she wanted to drive by this house and look at their garden on the way by, have a quick little gander, which she did. And it was so nice just being a passenger. I love being a passenger, I don't sleep well on a plane, and I don't sleep well in a car, but I can certainly nod off. Now you can hear a siren in the background. You can hear that siren. Now it's gone. And that's just part of life. Those outside noises are hard to deal with sometimes. Sometimes if I bang the microphone, I will edit that out. Other times, I just leave it in if it's more natural. But a lot of times I edit out loud motorcycles, really loud motorcycles, or cars going by revving their engines, or loud sirens that are very close, or a dog barking in the hallway, that sort of thing. Because nobody wants to be jolted or startled when they're listening to ASMR. I want to ask you a question, and I've asked this before. How would you feel about me changing my name from Oral Fixated? I have another name I'd like to use, but I won't say what it is right now, but how would you feel about me changing my name? I've been wanting to do it for a while. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think I'd like to. It would be kind of weird in one sense because all my videos up to this time have Oral Fixated as my opening title. sign